Hey everybody, I thought I would show you, I'm doing an expo cake for the bridal expo that has some yummy chocolate roses that are going to be on it. And I thought I might as well show you how I make these as I go. So as you can see, you can get different sizes, you can do them different colors. I'm just doing the white chocolate. This is dark chocolate actually. And then I have some over there that are like a milk chocolate. But those are hydrangea petals, not roses. So you can do buds, you can do smaller buds that are just starting to open up, medium-sized bud, or you can go crazy and you can do these big monsters too. Just depends on how many leaves you put on them. But what I start with is a bud. Maybe I'll show you how to do this. Take your modeling chocolate, and when you first make it, it's really hard, so you have to soften it with the heat from your hands. Excuse my sniffling. It's December in Iowa and it's starting to get cold. So, soften your chocolate. I'm gonna make a smaller one, so actually I'm gonna use these that I've already made just because they've dried harder, so they're easier to work with, but I'll show you how you shape your, hopefully you can see this. I'm not sure how my focus on my camera is working right now. Still learning how to use it. Roll it into a ball and you start shaping it into a cone by using the sides of your hands. Yes, that is a burn from the oven. And I just define the tip. I know my focus is better down here, so just make it into a cone shape. Hopefully you can see that. And my nails have, ugh, that's terrible. Chocolate stuck in my fingernails, go figure. On the hips, on the butt, under the fingernails, why not? So that's how you make your bud. And I'm sorry about this table looks stained too. It's just very well used table. And I thought you might be able to see the colors better with the contrast instead of getting my self-healing mat out that I usually do use. So, okay, so we'll take a bud here with your softened chocolate. Keep working it because it kind of wants to firm up on you pretty quick. And what I do, you'll see different ways of doing this, but this is how I do it. I just take off 5 pieces to begin with. Start the rows. There's 5 right there. Then I roll them into a ball. And I have this saran wrap. Yeah, it's got some chocolate on the inside. Don't look at that, but I'm using the outside of it. Roll it into a ball. Start flattening it out. The heat from your hands will soften it up so it becomes kind of sticky. So sometimes then, at that point, you need to put it on your, this is just a Ziploc bag. You can put it on the inside to flatten it, but I find that this works just as well for me. And what I'm trying to do is make one side thinner so the outside of your petal is not as thick. Because you know they're pretty delicate. Just about that size. I'll do my other ones here. Might speed this up in the editing. Who knows? Just can get kind of boring listening to me ramble on and on. Ask my husband, he'll agree. Get a good start on it. Just between your fingers. And you don't want either side of it to be too thick really, because you'll mold it to the shape of the bud, and you don't want the bottom of your bud to be too fat. Nobody wants a fat bottom. Har har. And I know it's been a while since I've done a video. Reason being is my bulb for my softbox, my light box, broke. And I need to get another one, and it's not here yet. But we have some pretty decent natural light coming in the window today in a different room. Sometimes you don't have to do a whole lot with it. Sometimes it just kind of just works out perfect. And this just takes patience. Something I know a lot of people don't have. I hear that a lot. I hear, I couldn't do what you do because I don't have the patience. Well, it does take patience, but anything that you do, it takes patience. Just a matter of if you love to do it or not. You have more patience for things that you enjoy. Life lesson from Mary. That was my bird that you just heard, flapping his wings. If you heard that. Not my bird, my son's bird. Hope you can see what I'm doing okay. Just kind of pinching the edges. Get a little bit of that thickness out of the middle too. If you want the recipe for my modeling chocolate, feel free to leave me a message. It's not a big top secret. There's only so many ways you can make modeling chocolate. The trick is more learning how to work with it once you've made it. I wonder if I'm breathing heavy. Kind of stuffy. I think I'm doing some mouth breathing. This one didn't shape very good, but it's okay. You can work with it. Because in nature, nothing is perfect. I find myself fighting myself with that. I want everything to look perfect. Well, nothing's perfect. Nothing's completely balanced. Gotta relax and be easier on yourself. Okay, so take your petals, and first thing you need to do is you need to make the centermost circle. I just kind of wrap it around. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes I change this. Sometimes I go from a different way. Get your first one on there. And you just press it into the center. Like this one here, it's kind of wrapped around itself. It doesn't have a center point. I just did two kind of interlocking ones in the center. You can do that too. Or you can do three. That's not really how they are in nature, but you know, it's just, you know, it's a cake. Nobody's gonna judge you on it. I wanted to make them look a little different. And take your second one, wrap around from the other side. At this point, it's okay if you kind of leave it a little open, because you're gonna have to start that at some point to get your petals to come out. Now this next row will be, I made one too many. This next row will be 3 of them. So I push one side in, and I kind of try to make them kind of sort of levelish on the top, the points. You see that? You don't want them to get start going out too early, like angled down. So there's one. And the next one, I tuck in to the previous one. I just kind of tuck it right in there. Bring it up so that it's level at the top again. Wrap it around. And if you're going to want to mold these, you're going to want to start doing it while they're still pliable. They start to kind of look kind of ripped on the edges. And that's okay too, because honestly, that's how they look sometimes, a little more ragged. And then my third one. Then this one I just wrap around and tuck it in and squeeze them onto the base of the rose. Then if you can, stand up. Doesn't want to stand up. I take my fingers kind of like pie dough. When you give it that little, what do you call that, crimp? If they start wanting to look kind of ragged like that, it's okay. You can go in with the heat from your fingers and try to soften them up again and smooth them down. Or take it off. Another one of those where nobody's gonna know. There. Brought another piece up. Okay. So I've got one here. I'm gonna put it inside. Stop it. Lean it up against there. Inside here, keep it kind of soft. But this next row is gonna be 5 petals. So I actually need 4 more. And am I out of pre-softened? Looks like it. You see me wrestle with this. See how hard it is to begin with when it sets up? And I've already pre-softened it, or softened it after it dried, after I made it. But sitting there overnight does it again. This one I'm going to do a row 5, and then that'll probably be it. Because I don't want real big blooms, because these are my main ones. I don't want my other ones to be competing with those. Get my crumbs here. These are kind of accent filler ones. So I just squish it, knead it around. Eventually, it softens up. Okay, close enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because I already have the 5th one here. Your different rows of petals, you want to do odd numbers. The camera just shut down on me. We'll see if it's low battery. Hope not. I'll try to hurry here. Card might be full too. That could be it. Doesn't take much. Okay. So, you take your bud. I'm going to take the one, again, that I made earlier, because it's going to get hard on me. Actually, I'm going to put it in my hand and try to warm it up a little bit. Then you start on a side where 2 petals meet. I wish this one looked a little cleaner as an example, but you'll get the point. And then again, stick it in. And tuck it in. I'm just going to get these on and then mess with them, since most of them are fairly fresh. And our last one. Stick it in there. Again, try and make sure that my petals are lined up fairly same level. I don't even know what the word for that would be. Height. Squeeze it into the base. My hands are kind of sticky. Kind of pull them out. You probably can't see that. I go in, like I said, like a pizza or pie crust. I like those. I don't know why I like that shape. It's kind of frilled, but not really. Gives it some dimension. This is one of those times when you wish you had 3 hands. And if it's pliable enough, you can go back in and move them around a tad. Okay, so there is a 2-rowed, I'm just calling that 2 rows, petals on a chocolate rose. All right, so that's that. Any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Thanks for watching. Bye.